Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Samantha. Thank you so much for joining me. So in this video, I'm going to show you one way to make an amazing anti-dandruff and growth stimulating shampoo. So there are lots of recipes out there. I particularly like this one because we're using all natural ingredients with no harsh chemicals. So as I say, there are lots of recipes. This one uses African black soap as the base. So this is the one that I'm using, but you can use any brand. So it doesn't have to be this one. African black soap is an excellent cleanser for both the skin and the hair, and you'll find on the packaging it's written that it can be used instead of a shampoo. So it's good for the skin because it can treat things like eczema, but when it comes to treating dandruff, it's not as good. So we're going to add other things that are good for treating dandruff, and we're going to use cloves because cloves have antibacterial as well as antifungal properties. So cloves also help to stimulate hair growth, and those of you who have been with me for a long time will know this because I've spoken quite a lot about cloves. So cloves also help to soothe the scalp. And the next ingredient is rosemary. So rosemary not only helps to stimulate growth, it can also help hair to grow back in bald patches. But in addition to that, it's also good for treating dandruff. It's a healing herb, so it'll help to soothe an irritated scalp. And if you have ever suffered from dandruff, you'll know that your scalp can be crazy. It'll be itchy, it'll be irritated. So rosemary will help with that. And another thing we're going to add is ACV, so apple cider vinegar, because it'll help to balance the pH of the scalp and the hair. So a lot of the products that we use, whether the shampoos, conditioners, a lot of them tend to be on the alkaline side, whereas the pH of the skin as well as their hair is more acidic. So using something like apple cider vinegar, which is more acidic, will help to balance the pH. And then we're going to use essential oils that are good for healing or helping with things like dandruff, and these also help to stimulate growth. So things like lavender, tea tree essential oil, and peppermint are really good essential oils to use. So we're going to start off by making a tea using the cloves and the rosemary. So I'm putting 2 cups of water into the pot. It doesn't have to be boiling water. I just do this to quicken up the process. And then I add 1 tablespoon of the cloves and then 1 tablespoon of the rosemary. And then I close the lid and allow them to boil for about 10 minutes. So you do want to close the lid because the rosemary and the cloves will have essential oils, and you don't want them to escape. So cover and let it boil over 10 minutes on low to medium heat. Next, we're going to prepare the soap. So I'm going to grate it, and this will just make it easy for it to dissolve when we mix it with the tea that we're making with the cloves and the rosemary. So I take about 25 to 30 grams and then grate it. It doesn't have to be finely grated. You just grate it using the big holes on the grater, and that'll be absolutely fine. So how much soap to add? I prefer to add 25 to 30 grams, but if you want it to be thicker, so this is going to give you a slightly runny shampoo. So if you want it to be thicker, then you could add more of the soap. So just double up or add maybe 3 times as much. It's entirely up to you. What I recommend you do is you see what I'm doing, so watch the whole video, and then you'll be able to see the consistency that I'll get, and that way you'll be able to decide how much of soap you want to add. So this is what it looks like after it's grated, and I have to say it looks so good enough to eat, doesn't it? But we're not going to eat it. So you'll notice that once you've boiled the cloves and the rosemary, the color of the water will change, and that's exactly what we're expecting. So after 10 minutes, it's ready, and now we're just going to mix the soap and the cloves and rosemary as well as the water that was in there in the jar, and we're just going to stir everything up to dissolve the soap and mix everything. And then we're going to allow all of this to infuse for a few hours. So 10 to 12 hours or even overnight is best. So if you want to use this, I'll recommend that you make it like a day before, or you can make it first thing in the morning and then use it later on in the afternoon or something. So pour everything in, including the herbs. So you don't strain it, just pour everything in so that they can infuse over time. So once everything is cooled down and all the herbs have infused into our shampoo, we can now call it a shampoo. So it's time to strain it, and you want to strain it just to remove the cloves and the rosemary. So I'm using a pair of tights. You can use a wet cap, a cheesecloth, just something that's really finely woven so that it catches any particles, any small particles that might be in there. So you do need to squeeze a little because those herbs will have absorbed most of your shampoo and you don't want to waste it. So just squeeze gently so that you get as much of the shampoo as you can. Now it's time to add the apple cider vinegar and the essential oil. So you never add these to hot liquid because the essential oils will practically evaporate and you'll destroy the ACV. So I'm adding 2 tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar and then adding 6 to 8 drops of my essential oil to the mixture. And then I'm just going to mix everything well and our shampoo is practically ready to use. So this shampoo will last about a week to 10 days at room temperature. Longer than that, it will start to go bad. So you just want to keep enough for one single wash in the fridge or at room temperature. And what I'd recommend is you actually freeze the rest and then defrost it as needed, because we haven't added preservative. If you want it to last longer, then add a preservative. So it is a liquid consistency, but it will lather really well. Always shake it before you mix it because the ingredients may separate. So you want to shake it up first and then the best thing to do is to shampoo twice. So you first shampoo focusing on the scalp and you let it sit for about 3 to 5 minutes before you rinse it out. And then your second shampoo will be focusing on the hair because you do still want to clean your hair. That apple cider vinegar is going to help remove any buildup that might be left over from products or even from the African black soap. It will help to cleanse all of that and your hair will be beautiful clean afterwards. So African black soap can be a little bit drying, particularly since we didn't add any oil. So always follow up with a moisturizing conditioner or a moisturizing deep conditioner and use it once a week until the dandruff is gone. So just to note that this is considered a clarifying shampoo because of the African black soap that's in it, as well as the apple cider vinegar. So both are quite clarifying, and that's why I think it's really important to use a moisturizing product afterwards. So once you've treated your dandruff, then you can use it every time you want to clarify your hair, or you can actually use this on a monthly basis to prevent dandruff from coming back again, because sometimes you treat it and then it keeps coming back. So once you've cleared your dandruff, you can use it every month and that will help to keep the dandruff under control. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you make it, do come back and let me know how you get on. As always, I recommend that if you've never used any of these ingredients, then first do a patch test to make sure you're not allergic to it, because the last thing you want is to have a bad reaction. So yes, if you do make it, come back and let me know how you're getting on, or if you have any questions, again, please feel free to come back and ask me. I'll always be here to answer any of your questions. Before I go, I just want to give my subscribers a massive thank you, because your love and support, they mean the world to me, and you're really helping this channel to grow. And thank you to everybody else who comes and engages with the content. If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, then please subscribe, and also ask your friends and family, colleagues, anybody you know who will be interested in this kind of content to come and subscribe. And also please give the video a thumbs up and then sign up for notifications. So my lovelies, I'll see you in my next video. Until then, take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and God bless. Bye for now.